Hey y'all, it's Katie. Welcome back to From My Vanity and welcome to a bit of a different video from me. We are going to be talking about nails, and more specifically we're going to be talking about press-on nails, but I do want to cover in general glue-on nails that you can pick up at your drugstore. I always get a lot of compliments and a lot of questions honestly about my nails, and honestly 9 times out of 10 in my videos I have on one of these, either Impress or Dashing Diva. I absolutely love both brands. There's pros and cons to each. I always like to just, as soon as one pair is done, I pop another one on, and it's just quick and easy for me. I don't have to worry about drying time. I don't have to worry about picking at the chipping because I have a really bad habit with picking. Press-on nails just work so much better for me in my lifestyle right now, and I absolutely love how long they can last. As you can see, they come with 30 nails. I believe the Dashing Diva do as well. Yeah, 30 nails in here. This is a special edition one that they sent me. This one does say 30 nails. So something that I find is I can get a solid 2 wears out of these, 2 different manicures, and then I also like to save whatever's left over, and I kind of have an empty, here we go, it's right here. I just save an empty one because these Dashing Diva, I really like the container. They're like little plastic one. I have tape on it, but it's a plastic and it just clicks shut and it's really secure. So I just throw all of my extras in here, and then after a while, whenever I'm wanting just to do a random odd manicure, and not odd, but just kind of a hodgepodge and like each finger different kind of thing, I'll reach for this and I can get another manicure out of it. So while you would think you only get one manicure, and if you think about that one manicure for $8, $9, that's kind of expensive, you still, I get at least 2 to 3. I always get a lot of questions about, you know, how I get them to wear so long, how I apply them, how I remove them, all that sort of thing. So that's what we're going to run through today. I'm going to try to keep it as short and sweet and to the point as possible. Before we do that though, I want to dive into all these because all these styles are ones that I do have experience with, and I kind of want to give you my thoughts and kind of mini reviews on these. Okay, so I apologize for not having like a new box. This one, as you can see, I've already used, so there's just a couple left. But here's what they would look like. I absolutely love the styles that these Kiss Gel Fantasy offers. They're just so pretty and unique, and often I can get like the medium length, so they're a bit longer, more for that special occasion type of thing. Definitely not everyday friendly for me and my short nails. They're pretty darn long, but they're fun for a special occasion. These do come with little stick-on pads that you can use, which you can see right here. So one of the ways they're saying you can do it is to stick the pad on it here and then just stick the nail on top of the pad. I don't find that to work very well at all. It's really hard to get the tab on right. It's really hard to get the nail on right, and it never does it well, because since this little sticker is separate from the nail, you get like air bubble, oops, sorry, I'm out of frame. You get like air bubbles in the little stickers, and it just never works well. And even when I use the sticker in addition to the glue, it works okay. I can get a solid like 3-4 days out of it before they start popping off. But this is just okay. This is like my special occasion, but I don't expect it to stay on really well. I do definitely baby my hands and be really careful when I wear these, but it's for that one evening, that one night out that I really want it to be nice. I picked this design up at Dollar General because it was just so pretty. It looked really nice, and I tried to wear them and they wore fairly well. I would say I got 3 days out of them before they started popping off. I did have the thumb pop off like the next day, but it's because I chose one that was a little too large. So once I picked a one that was smaller, they did last okay. But again, kind of the same thing as this Kiss one. Using just the glue doesn't last well on me, especially when they're long, because I'm using my hands all the time and they would just fly off. So this is kind of again the same vein as this. If I want a really special occasion, I'll pull for this. I thought these were just so pretty, so I wanted to see if these could work. So yeah, these aren't the best for durability, but they're nice for like a one night out. But if you're wanting something durable or something that can, you know, hold up to a normal day for you, these weren't the best. Now we're gonna talk about Impress. These are my first loves. This is what caused me to fall in love with press-on nails. I had tried press-on nails as a kid, and I was always like, nope, they look too fake. They fall off, you know, within hours. They are just not worth it. And then I tried these, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this can last a week or more. This brand, this style is really cool. It's a one-step gel, and it's supposed to be that they have their own glue already on the nail, and when you are ready to press it on, you just peel off like the kind of top sticker, and then you already have like the glue or the sticker on there, and you just press it down on your nail and you're done. Like that's it. That's how easy they say it is. I, as you're gonna see, do a little bit more to ensure that my nails last a bit longer, but overall I have worn these by themselves without the glue, and I would say I can get a solid week out of them as long as I'm kind of careful. I will say though that I feel like these aren't the best for longevity. Like they don't hold up as well because the more days you wear them, I notice that the tip starts to wear down pretty quickly, and it's more of a soft type of nail, which is nice because it hugs your nail really well. But something I do notice is because it's so soft, after probably 3, 4, 5 days, it gets really soft at the tip, so it kind of just wears away until it's basically flush with wherever your natural nail is, and it just doesn't look as nice. Like, I feel like it wears down and looks more noticeable that you're wearing fake nails a lot faster with this style than with Dashing Diva, which we're going to talk about in a minute, because the nail itself is such a soft and pliable type of nail. That is really the only con with these. I think that this brand is phenomenal, and I always recommend them. Dashing Diva is a very new brand to me. I noticed them first at Sally's, and they are now sold at Ulta. I wasn't sure if I would like these. I don't know. I just didn't know if any other kind of press-on nail would hold up to my opinion of the Impress nails, but these blew my mind. I was so impressed with how these wore. These are a bit firmer, as I was mentioning before, they're a bit firmer of a nail than these, but I find that that makes them last so much nicer. Like, they hold their shape a lot nicer. The tips don't get as worn down as quickly as with the Impress, and they just look nicer and hold up longer. And I've also noticed that they stay on my nails longer than the Impress. Whenever I wear Dashing Diva, I usually get at least 9 days. Sometimes I can get to the 2-week mark, but I would say on average I get 9 days of wear out of these. But even without doing the trick with the glue, just using these by themselves with their, you know, little glue on the back that is same as this, you just peel off the little tab and stick them down. I've worn them twice like that, and the first time I would say they lasted 4 days before the first one popped off, and then I just kind of re-glued and pressed it down, and they lasted about a week. I think it was just shy, like 6 days, and then they all started popping off kind of thing, and I just took them off. But the second time I wore these lasted 1 whole week. No issues, stayed really well, and I was impressed on that, and I just like how well they look after a week's time. Like, the nail itself it's not worn down, it's not getting all sorts of soft at the tip, it still looks nice. So yes, I cannot rave about Dashing Diva Magic Press-On Nails enough. I absolutely love them. I highly recommend them. I do want to let you guys know that I did reach out to Dashing Diva to see if they wanted to work with me on this video, and that we talked for a while. They're super sweet. I really appreciate them. We might work in the future, but for this video, they just sent some other press-on nails for me to feature. So they sent me these 3 nails. They also sent me their Dashing Diva gloss strips, which you guys know are these sticker ones. I have tried sticker polishes in the past and they never work for me, but I hear such high reviews about these. I'm really curious to see if these will work for me. You guys, I am such a picker. As soon as I get a little lip on anything, I pick it off. So I'm curious to see if these can hold up and not start to peel up. So I will be trying this, you know, in the coming months or whatever. But for today, we're just talking about the press-on nails. And I just wanted to say thank you to Dashing Diva. That was really sweet of them to send these along. They also asked if I would mention that Dashing Diva is going to be at BeautyCon New York here in April, and I was like, yes, of course I can mention that. I'm not going to be going to BeautyCon, but if you're going to BeautyCon, definitely check out Dashing Diva's booth. I think that would be an awesome time to check them out and see, you know, if there's any styles that you like, to ask questions of the people there. So if you're planning to go to BeautyCon in April, let me know if you are, and if you're going to stop by their booth. I think I would honestly wish I could go just so I could go check out their booths and all the different styles, because I have a slight obsession with their press-ons. But yeah, just wanted to shout that out. This video is not sponsored by anyone, not by Dashing Diva or anyone. But anyway, yeah, so now that we have talked about all the different type of press-on nails that I have had experience with, let's get into applying them, because my nails have been bare for I think a full day at this point, and that hasn't happened in eons. Okay, first little trick I want to say is that you have to size these, and each one has a different size, and they usually number them, and it can be a little tricky to figure out where the number is, so I'm going to show you. Alright, so the number is usually for at least Impress and Dashing Diva. The number is always located right here at the top. This nail that I'm holding is the number 4, so I'm going to try to catch the light. There, you see the number 4 in the center? It's right there. Sometimes if the nail is white, they usually put the number here as well. I know it's kind of hard to see, but in person you can see that that is a little 4 right there on the tab, and that's honestly the easiest place for me to find out the number. So yeah, they're numbered, and you have to kind of just go, and like the best way to do it is to place it on your nail and just see which one is going to fit. It's going to take some trial and error. One thing I will say is you want the nails to be a little bit small as opposed to a little bit big. If they're a little bit big and they kind of touch your cuticle too much, you're going to get them popping off a lot easier, because as you use your hands and whatnot and your fingers, your skin around your nails, like when you put pressure on them, they bunch up right there on the nail. So if your nail is already already a little long and coming down here into the cuticle, when you're using your hands and stuff like that and there's pressure on them, it's just going to pop those nails right off. So for when it comes to press-on nails, you want them to be just a touch small as opposed to too big. And you don't even want them to be perfect, because something that I had to figure out with a lot of trial and error is that even though you press down on this really hard and are trying to see like, okay, does this fit this nail? It will get even more snug and more closely fit once you take the tab off and like really press it down. It just fits it a little bit better. So I always try to make sure that my nails look just a touch small, and then when I actually put them down, press them down really hard and let them go, it's going to look just perfect. So for example, this is a number 2, and I know that's what I use on my thumbs. If you kind of look on the side, when you line up this side and look over, let's see if I can be in frame. As you can see, it looks a little big, but when you place that on squarely, like centering it with your thumb, and you actually press down really hard, by the time all is said and done, that is going to look flush with the edges of your nail. At least in my opinion, in conversations, like people usually can't tell that I have fake nails on because it comes that close. That's definitely the biggest tip I can give you when applying your nails and trying to apply them in a way to make them last. Make sure they're not too big. Okay, so just take some time and organize them all according to your finger size. Also, something to note is make sure you don't just measure on one hand and then just assume that's the same numbers for your other ones. Some of your fingers are going to be like different sizes depending on like left, right, that kind of thing. It's kind of weird, but it's true. Sometimes you can have a finger that fits a 5 and then over here it needs a 4 or it needs a 6, that kind of thing. And another little trick to do is I actually write down on a piece of paper all of the sizes for each finger, and then I also kind of write beside it, put the alternative so that I can get 2 manicures out of it. It's a little bit of math at the beginning, but it's worth it to make sure you get 2 solid manicures out of it. And something else to note is that when I'm kind of creating a manicure with all the leftover ones, you can cut these nails. I've actually taken like the little scissors that I use to like trim my lashes, and I just trim the sides of it, and it's pretty easy, and you're able to get another manicure out of it, and you really can't tell. You just kind of have to trim the edges so it's not super sharp and just kind of give it that natural curve that these have, but it's really not that hard, especially with these thumb ones. My thumbs are small, I think, I guess, because I use a size 2 normally, but they also have 1 and 0 that are bigger. So in order for me to get to use these bigger ones, I just take them and trim them off on the side so that they fit my nail, because right now this thing is absolutely huge. But yeah, I'll just cut the sides of it, and it really doesn't mess with the sticky part of it. You got a little give there, and yeah, you just trim it off and it wears just the same. So that is also another little trick. Okay, so now that the prep work is done, I like to go and kind of give a little care to my nails. Now, something I really try to do the best of my ability is I leave my nails as long as I possibly can. If this nail will fit on here and you can't see the tip, I'm not going to cut that, because the longer your nail is, that acts as kind of a helper to, or I don't even know, that didn't sound right, helper, but this acts to help the nail stay on longer, because there's a little bit of your own nail there, and it just makes the nail stronger. So when you accidentally smack it into something, it's just not as likely to go flying as if you have no nail. Now this nail broke, so that's why it's so short, but I typically try to leave them as long as I possibly can. I know my nails are a little rough. It's because I am very rough on them. But yeah, well, I'm going to cover them with the press-on, so it really doesn't matter. Something I do like to do before I put the press-ons is just to take a little tool like this, or you can buy something that helps take the cuticle off, and I do use this when I have more time. But if I'm in a hurry like I am today, I'm just going to press back on the edges of my cuticle just to make sure that my cuticles aren't riding too far up on my nail, because if you leave them, it's going to make it harder for the press-ons to really adhere to your nail. It's going to try to adhere to the cuticle, and that's not as secure as if it glues and adheres onto your nail, so it's just likely to fall off sooner, if that makes sense. Now, I do want to note that you can remove these press-on nails very easily and without any harm to your nails by soaking them in acetone, or honestly, after the 1 week mark, they're pretty soft, so sometimes they just pop off without hurting your nail at all. As I said, am such a picker that once one comes off and I want my nails off, I just start picking at them and pop them all off, which isn't the best thing to do, because as you can see, I have little, I think they're called stress marks or whatever in my nail from doing that, where I just kind of pull them off instead of actually soaking them in acetone. So do as I say and not as I do when it comes to removing this, and just take a cotton ball, place it on top of the nail, wrap it in aluminum foil, and let it sit for a solid 5-10 minutes, and then remove it off. And just try to make sure you use the cotton ball to help push it off, because the glue on the back of these is like very gummy when you do that, and it can just stick to everything. So just make sure you have a barrier between your hands and the nail, because when you push it off, if you use your nail, you're gonna get like that, whatever kind of glue that is on the back of these, it's just going to kind of stick almost like super glue, and how hard it is to come off, that kind of thing. So that's how you remove them, and you can remove them without harming your nails. But if you're a picker like me, you might harm them a little bit. And honestly, like I said, this is as much harm as I do to my nails. I just pull them off, and sometimes they're just not ready. They're still kind of stuck down, and they just kind of give it a little stress fracture, whatever that is. So that's how I remove them. They're pretty quick and easy to remove though. Once it's been about a week, it doesn't take all that much time. So Dashing Diva and Impress Manicure do give you a little packet with something to file and something to push back your cuticle, which you can use. I just find using my own nails or my own supplies works just as well. You also can file your nails back. If I have any rough areas, I do try to file them just to make it a little bit nicer wearing it, so it doesn't catch anything underneath the nail. I already did trim and file my nails before this video just to make it a little bit quicker. But anyway, always make sure you use these little packets. You can use acetone. I go back and forth on whether the acetone's better or this works just as well, but for the sake of this video, I'm just going to be using this. It's a little, they say it's just a little acetone pad, but make sure you clean each of your nails. And what this is going to do is make sure all the oils are out of your nail to help the glue from the press-ons adhere better, because any kind of natural oils on the surface of your nail is just going to make it have a harder time adhering to your nail, which will just result in a shorter wear time. Oh, another little trick that I do is usually I do this right before I go to bed. That way I press them down really good, and then I shut out the lights, I go to bed, and I let my nails like sit for a solid 6 hours or whatever while I sleep. And I just feel, in my head at least, it just sounds like it's going to help it, you know, give it a rest so it can really bond with my nail before I start using my hands. I'm doing it during the day now because I need the light, but ideally I do it right before I go to bed, and that way it has all night to kind of rest up and harden to my nail before I start using my hands. Okay, so now for my little trick. And it is this little thing here. You can use any kind of glue. I really don't see a huge difference, but I like to use a layer of glue before I peel off the little tabs and stick them on. I got this trick from Bailey B. I will leave her videos linked down below. She is the one that got me hooked on press-on nails, so I have to give credit to her because I absolutely love her, and she is the reason that I am now totally obsessed, and I always have my nails looking nice, because if not, they would look like this half the time. And honestly, not even like this, because they'd all be broken if I didn't wear press-on nails. But anyway, what she always does, and what I learned from her, is just to take some glue, and I like this just because it is a brush on tip, so it makes it really easy. I get this at the drugstore, at Kroger, anything like that. This one's already open, so I'm going to be showing you with this one. But I just take my nail, let me make sure I'm in focus, but I just take it just like you would paint your nail, and I just go from cuticle to the tip of my nail and paint it with the glue. And I try to focus especially around the edges, because that's where you want it to really bond. And then you're going to take the little, I forgot you can't see, you're going to take the nail, there's a little tab here like I showed you before when I was showing you the sizes. You peel it off. You're going to want to start at the cuticle. I'm trying not to cover this, but it's not easy. You're going to start at the cuticle, try to make sure you get it centered, try to make sure you get it like pointed in the right way, not, you know, kind of going this way. And then once it looks good, you just press it down. And I think Dashing Diva says like a 6-second kind of thing. It's 6-second magic or something like that. Me, I just hold it down for as long as I have time. I don't know, I don't really ever count. I just hold it down, give it a good press. You don't want to put too much of this glue or it's going to come out and gunk up everywhere, but just a nice thin layer. And I feel like the extra layer of glue just really helps it adhere and just last a bit longer for me, especially with me being so rough on my hands. Any little bit helps. And like, it doesn't even take that much longer for me to do these press-on nails. Press-on nails are quick and easy as it is, and just like a layer or two of this doesn't take long at all. So I just find it quick and easy, and it's just one more layer that in my head makes them last so much longer. Though as I said, I've worn these Dashing Divas and Impress Manicures with no glue at all, and they still last about a week. So I just feel like with the glue, I don't have to worry and be as cautious as I do when I don't have the glue. So it's a step I like to take. But yeah, that's basically it. So I did that. I'm just going to do it to all my nails. One thing I do is I don't do my thumbs till last because it's nice to have your thumbs to be able to take off the tabs and stuff like that. So I do all my nails and thumbs last. So I'm just going to speed through this and y'all can watch. Real quick, I want to say sorry about how nasty these hands look. I burned them when I was making coffee the other day. I was boiling water and wasn't awake yet apparently, but yeah, that's what that is. Alright, then now that I've done all those, I just do my thumbs. And just try to be really careful as I press, because as we were talking before, you know, putting that pressure on the side of your nails is what often causes your nails to like pop off. So when I do this last one, after this nail is done, I just try to be extra careful on how I press it with what nails, and just trying to use my finger as opposed to like my finger down here, as opposed to like pressing it with my fingernail there. So yeah. Here's the last one. So I just go and apply the glue like I usually would. And then peel this off. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, usually when I peel these off, I use my teeth. But anyway, for the sake of this video, I'm trying to use my nails. But anyway, when I press it down, once I like how it is, I try to use back here this knuckle in the back, because then it's not putting any pressure on my nail that I just laid down there. So there you go, that's it. Typically I do my nails while I'm editing a video because I can kind of press play and tap like the keyboard as I'm listening. And if I ever need to do a bunch of editing, then I just kind of wait and, you know, do it real quick while the nail is setting before I move on to the next one. So typically I do my manicures at night as I'm editing a video before I go to bed. But yeah, that's it. Pretty quick and easy. It's all on. Oops, I'm out of frame. But they're all on, and I feel like they look really good. They're quick and easy, and I would just say if you're going to do this in the middle of the day, make sure you give it some time before you go and use them, you know, doing a lot of stuff with your nails, just so they can have some time to kind of harden on and set before you use your hands. A couple other things that I wanted to mention. I have all these little clear tabby things. You guys probably can't see them, but they're all over here. And I have heard and I have seen, and I've actually done once, where people will take a nail file, kind of like this, but like a regular size one, and before they put on the nail, they'll actually file the top of their nail till it's kind of dull, and that's supposed to help it stay longer, and actually does work, because what you're doing is you're damaging the top of your nail to make it rough, and then when you put the glue on and press your nail on, the glue gets down into all those little rough edges that you've caused in your nail, and it just makes it kind of adhere better because it's kind of gotten down into the nitty-gritty and has something to hold on to. So you can do that, but like I said, you are damaging your nail, and for me, since I wear these all the time, I don't want to be damaging my nail like that. I just feel like that's not going to be good in the long run, so I do not do that. I just use acetone on my nail to dry the glue off, and then pop these on, and like I said, they last a solid week. Honestly, Dashing Diva lasts about 9 days on me. For me, I like to change up my manicure, so by the 9-day mark, I'm ready to change my manicure. I don't want it lasting any longer, so it's just not something I personally do, but I do want to throw it out there because it does work, but just be aware. Be aware, you're damaging your nail when you do that. Another thing is, as I said, make sure when you're doing the glue, you focus the glue on your cuticle area, on the tip of your nail, around the edges, and then when you're placing your nail on, try to place it down as you saw me. I place it down onto where the cuticle is to make sure that lines up, and then I lay the rest down to try to prevent air bubbles. And then when I press down on my nails, I try not to press down up here first. I try to go from the back and then press down and kind of work my way up to keep the pressure. Once again, to try to keep those air bubbles out, because if you make too many air bubbles, it's just going to make the nail not as strong as it could be. So really try to focus from the back and push up type of thing, just to really give it the best shot possible. Yeah, I think that's about it. If I remember anything else, I'll put it on the screen here, any kind of tips and tricks that I didn't think about to run over. But basically all I do is I'm careful with my nails. Like now that I have them on, I wear gloves when I wash my dishes at night. I try to use the side of my nails instead of my actual nail when I'm trying to open something or grab something. I'm not overly, like I'm still very hands-on. I am a mom of two. I have a lot to do during the day. I clean my house, I clean my dishes, I cook, I do all that kind of stuff. I am pretty hard on my nails, but I just, where I can, I try to be careful with them. Like I said, I always wear gloves when I wash the dishes, but I still wash my hands all the time because I have a toddler that's going to the bathroom now. I'm changing diapers all the time, so I wash my hands a lot throughout the day. I still shower. My kids take baths a couple times a week. I still get my hands in water, but they do last. So it just depends on your lifestyle, how long these will last. But yeah, I think that's gonna do it for this video. I hope it was helpful. Let me know if you have any other questions down below. I took a poll on Instagram asking what your guys' questions were when it comes to Impress, and I did try to answer them. If I forget anything, as I said, I will put the question and answer here on the screen. But yeah, I think that is gonna do it for this video. As I said, thank you so much to Dashing Diva for sending me a couple products to try out. I really do like their brand. I highly recommend them. As I said, you can get them at Ulta now. They are available at Sally's Beauties. That's where I found them. And then of course you can buy them from their website. As I said, they're going to be at BeautyCon New York this year in April. I'm not exactly sure about the day, but I will look it up and put the information down below if you're curious to check them out when they do come to BeautyCon New York. But I think that's super cool, and I, as I said, love the brand, and I was more than happy to shout them out. But anyway, that is going to do it for this video. If you have any experience with Dashing Diva, or especially if you have any experience with the Dashing Diva glosses, I'm really scared, but they have such high reviews. I'm like scared, terrified, but very hopeful. So if these work for me, you're definitely going to see them on the channel at a later date. But let me know if you have any experience with these or their magic press. I'm obsessed with their magic press. I absolutely love them, and I cannot recommend them enough. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys found this video helpful. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in my next video.